Yo, what's up, guys? It's Spencer from Under Oath and my solo project, Slow Tide. I have a new single that just came out called Don't Trip. It's available anywhere you stream music. Please give it a listen, share it with your friends. My buddy Aaron Gillespie's actually ripping the drums on this one. So yeah, help me spread the word, and you can follow Slow Tide at SLOTIDE band on all socials. Thank you to Bacon Is My Podcast for always sharing my stuff. Much love. Peace.
All right, man, I'm excited. You know why?
Why? Why are you excited?
We're part of the Den.
Ooh, we're here having some whiskey in the den. Hanging out in the den. It's like the man den.
Yeah.
What's the den?
Den is the Deluxe Edition Network, an awesome network of podcasts that you could check out at deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Check out all the podcasts there. Lots of good stuff, including now, fresh and new, Bacon Is My Podcast. What's your bacon?
We're going to go live.
Let's just
we are live.
Well, we are live, but we should just do
to our
show.
patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Well,
we're doing
there.
it live.
They're already there, so they don't need to.
But some people are listening Wednesday.
But they don't hear this.
No. Well, no, I was starting the show.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Please go ahead.
No, it's fine. You have anything else to say?
I'll wait.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the show that we did on Friday. That's pretty cool. We got one of the people who played with us in the chat here.
Yeah. We
can have him weigh in on some things.
We can.
And I went ghost hunting last night. I didn't sleep very well.
I'm excited to hear all about this.
We did all we could with the lights to try and get the bags gone. Didn't work because I didn't sleep very well.
We do have new lighting again in the BIMP Lounge. I never realized how hard it is to get rid of pink.
It's a fucking science. There's literally
we're using orange lights
color
to get rid of the pink. Otherwise, we would look completely pink right now.
Yeah. So what do you say we start?
Yeah, we do that.
No.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
I also forgot to say that we have the voice of Ace Frehley in the house as well.
We do. The voice of Ace Frehley is in our brains. Welcome to the BIMP Lounge.
Yes, where it's orange and yellow and all sorts of colors.
Hints of blue. We got some solo cups.
See, that was supposed to be yellow. That changed.
Yeah, that did change. The yellow
now it's better.
The yellow's better for your skin, and the orange is a little bit better for my skin.
Yeah,
based on our
I
complexion.
looked in the light again, and my eyes are going screwy.
When we checked these lights the first time, I was holding it, and he turned it on, and it was like looking directly into the sun.
Sorry,
I was blinking for the next I was just like, oh,
yeah,
color bubbles are everywhere.
It's got that I'm staring at the sun vibes.
Definitely. Very, very eclipse-like. My retinas have been burned.
Yeah.
By LEDs.
But these are nice lights.
Yeah. I want to do a little housekeeping before we start.
Okay.
Right? I owe you an apology.
I accept. Go on.
All right. So I saw our little teasers that we put out from my rant. I went on a rant.
Oh, you don't have to apologize for that. Please don't apologize.
I'm not apologizing for the rant.
Okay.
I'm not at all. No. I don't apologize for that shit. No.
Those were epic.
No, I mean it.
That's I'm just making sure.
There's nothing against, and to all my brethren musicians out there that are in cover bands and stuff, that was not an attack on you. No, it wasn't. That was an attack on people that are going into cultured places and making them less cultured
ruining it
because they want to sanitize it more,
right?
Make it more palatable for everyone. And some places shouldn't be for everyone. That's all I'm saying. But what I need to apologize to you for is, man, every time you even tried to say anything, I just railroaded over you.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that, and I know it was noticeable to me in those I was like, this is a minute. How long did I just completely shut him up?
Oh, you should have seen what I cut down.
I bet.
it was a minute, but there were 2 parts,
Right.
and those were cut down.
Right.
Yeah, you just.
So I apologize.
It's okay. It was epic, and it was fine, and it was absolutely worth it because it was top notch content. It was top notch content.
Somebody's gonna be mad at me, and that's okay. You know, I've discovered that I don't think I'm ever gonna go through a period of my life where I'm not gonna make somebody mad at me. And
you know what? You can't please everybody.
and you can't please everyone. So all you can do is try and do your best. And I'm just gonna keep trying to do my best.
Yeah. And something we said at the beginning of the show: context is king.
Context is king.
Yes. So.
And the context was, don't ruin places with
Right.
cool shit.
Yeah. I agree. Speaking of cool
And
shit,
I do like The Weeknd. I did that. And you know what? That was an insult. That was in my head because I watched another video of someone watch a Weeknd thing and they said something similar and it made me laugh. And when I was ranting, that popped into my head because it was popular. And so I just kind of said it. But and I do agree that some of his songs sounds like he's whispering while he's listening to a recorded version of himself. But The Weeknd's pretty great.
Oh yeah, no, we said it.
It's pretty great.
We said it was great.
Pretty great. So yeah.
Well,
So there you go. There you go.
way to
Sometimes I'm wrong, but not about things like you shouldn't.
be a fucking diplomat, there, Jim.
I didn't apologize for saying at things. I
Right.
apologize for not letting you say things.
Yeah.
And just went on the record to say that I actually kind of like The Weeknd.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of things which could or could not be cool, we've got some. I went to the local liquor store, and there was a tiny little whiskey bottle with a squirrel on it.
Squirrel!
And a bucket. And it's SQRRL. Squirrel!
Well,
It is a peanut butter whiskey, and that's something that we're going to try here. We don't know how good it's going to be. Could be great.
squirrel.
Likely not. But it is whiskey with natural flavors and caramel coloring.
I like when people throw literary rules out the window. I enjoy that.
Get rid of your.
I enjoy that.
vowels.
Just get rid of vowels because your
Well,
brain
those
will
are
fill it in.
$250 each.
Your brain will fill it
Fucking
in.
get rid of it.
Exactly. Your brain fills that stuff in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I like that. I like their ability right now, or their decision to say grammar. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Vowels don't make a word. Vowels are just something for singers to go on.
Fast and loose with the English language. That's the way to either naming a new metal band or whiskey.
And it's the way to my heart.
Joey, no, it is not screwball whiskey. It is squirrel.
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 It's probably a
Squirrel.
cheap ripoff of it.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yeah. So, cheers to you guys.
It smells like peanut butter.
I disagree.
No, I'm sorry. It smells like peanut butter flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Definitely not.
Or it smells
butter
like
proper.
Have you ever eaten like a peanut butter?
Oh, that got less good as I
some
poured
kind of
it.
peanut butter candy where it's more chalky in the middle.
Yeah,
Not like a Butterfinger.
No, I know what you're
but
talking
like
about.
that-
Like a knockoff.
Yeah, and it's like that peanut butter powder flavor.
Yes. Exactly.
That's
exactly
what it
that.
smells like to me. Like
It
the
smells a
Nestle
lot-
Quick of peanut butter, and
Yeah, it smells a lot less good out the bottle.
yeah, it doesn't smell good.
It smells like gooch.
Please define gooch in your sentence.
That's the nether region between
Okay.
the butthole and
Good.
the
Yeah,
balls.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So
Smells like sweaty gooch and peanut butter powder.
let's see if it tastes like gooch. and
Okay,
peanut
cheers,
butter.
buddy. Hey, bud.
What's up?
Guess what time it is?
Fall.
Yes. You know what that means? That means that the trees are shedding their leaves.
Indeed. You know what does not shed leaves automatically?
Chesticles, testicles, and cheeks.
Right. So it is time for some fresh ball fall action.
Yeah.
My friends.
Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0, featuring their patented skin-safe technology, guys, if you're not using Manscaped yet, what are you waiting for? Come on.
And what do your balls look like? Ooh.
Right? It's got an LED light, so if you're worried about nicking something or not being able to see, you don't have to worry, man. The lawnmower has it.
Shave in the dark.
Exactly. It's waterproof.
It is waterproof.
Go into the shower. If you don't want to make a mess outside the shower, go in the shower.
Shave in a dark shower.
Yeah, you can do that with Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BACONPOD, it'll give you 20% off and free shipping.
Free shipping.
And it's not even just for the lawnmower.
No, it's for everything. You can get the crop mops, shampoo, they have body soap, they have lotions, all kinds of things. Check it out, manscaped.com. If you can't remember the promo code, just jump over to baconsmypodcast.com and check out our sponsors page.
Always remember to clean your testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks with Manscaped.
Yeah, man. What's your bacon?
Oh, God. Oh, God, that's bad. Oh, my God, that's bad. That's so bad.
I am gonna disagree. It's not good.
What?
It's not good.
What?
It is not as terrible.
It's bad.
It tastes like when you go to a small coffee shop and you want to have like flavor put into it, and they just pump those things in it.
It does taste like moaning,
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
pump the flavor in.
but it's bad.
It tastes like sugar and the aroma of.
No, the aftertaste is
stuff.
bad. It's bad.
I'm getting like a mapley kind of.
Okay. I guess I'm getting a tree bark. Wow. Oh my God, the aftertaste is awful.
Yeah, the second taste wasn't as good.
That-
Did you take you? Oh, you're taking much more liberal sips than I am.
Am I?
Yeah. You've taken some pretty like.
Yeah, I'm trying to taste it.
Yeah, no, listen, man, I'm not a savage.
I also want to get rid of it as
Right.
soon as possible.
All right, fine. Okay.
Jameson test? I don't, there's no redeeming.
Oh, the larger
Part of
the, sip, because it's not. The Jameson didn't fix it. The Jameson didn't fix it. Or
This is so bad.
it's
This might be the worst liquor I've ever had. I'd rather drink a whole bottle of Slain.
no fucking way.
Yeah, way.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I don't get those vibes. I'm not gonna ever buy this again. But it is not the worst liquor I've tasted.
It's our palates are
Right. They're
distinguishing it differently.
right.
Maybe I'm just getting the hints of ass and terrible, and you're getting hints of peanut butter.
No,
I'm not.
it's the sweet pump.
This is not a sweet pump. This is a dirty old pump. This is a pump that was taken out of one bottle and put into the next bottle.
I will say that gooch smell is on my mustache.
You know how so when you buy the bottles of Monin, they don't all come with the pump. Right?
Oh.
They just come with a screw top. You
gotta save the pump.
You're supposed to wash that pump. And this is a pump that was once in a chocolate one, and once in a peanut butter one, and once in hand soap, once in pure gasoline.
Yeah.
And now it has been repurposed for this.
Squirrel. Yeah, it's not great.
No.
It's not good. I wouldn't buy it again. But
So, Squirrel Whiskey. I just want to say,
it is a thumbs down.
good on you for the effort. I like the I like the use of no vowels. I think that's great. It's clever. You still know what it is, and you haven't had to pay any royalties to anyone that owns Squirrel with all the letters. I like the little squirrel jumping over a barrel. It's very Mario-esque. I like that. That's exciting to me. It gives you the idea that maybe oh, this is fun,
Yeah.
right? This is game time. This is a good time.
I'm gonna finish this.
But to be honest, I don't like it.
Ooh.
I don't like your whiskey.
I don't like it smell on my
It's not
mustache.
good. I don't want to have it again, and I will not be recommending it to anyone else either. Thanks, Squirrel.
Squirrel.
God damn it! Why is it so bad? I keep thankfully the aftertaste goes away pretty quick,
Yeah, it's
but then it lulls you into a false sense of like it's just, I remember that pretty correctly. I have a pretty good idea what this is going to taste like, and then you taste it, and it's like I forgot how bad it was just now,
yeah.
and I'm going to do it again because I want to finish this.
Yeah.
God.
So as he finishes that, we did our Bacon is My Passion show. We did it. We made it. We made it through. Two members of that, I was wrong in the intro. Two members of that are in the chat. We have Joey, who played bass for us, and
Yep.
then also Ace Frehley's voice,
The
who
voice of
got
Ace
us
Frehley.
through
He got us
the
through
tough
everything.
times.
Yeah.
And really steered the way for us in terms of guidance and how to put things together. But no, I'm happy we did it, man. Like
For a show
it
that
took
came
fucking
together
forever.
For a show that came together in 4 rehearsals, it feels like about 37 rehearsals and years of preparation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it felt like a lot went into it. And then it happened so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was funny too because we had the Neon Skyline show, and then we were getting through that, and then literally the next week was like, all right, time to get going.
Right.
Like this is it. This is up. Neon doesn't have a show. Craving doesn't have a show. Now
Yeah.
we're on the road here.
Yeah, well, and what's funny is like we had decided that like we picked this date and this show like 5 months ago,
Yeah.
right? And we were like, okay, let's not do that as either of our bands. Let's do that together.
Right. Exactly.
And so we made that decision a very long time ago, and then we completely waited till last minute to prep for it.
Well, see,
But we're both very busy,
yeah.
which is very true. But it still like it felt there was a heightened sense of like, oh shit, I got to get this done,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know if you had that, but I definitely had that.
No,
It came up so fast. I was like, "Is this week? What?"
yeah, I think because we had so much going on,
Yeah.
like between traveling, so we had the Neon show, and then we also had Miami, and then we also had, other life shit.
Well,
and
you released music. I'm recording music.
no, it's not released yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
November.
finished music,
Right.
right? And then you finished music, and I started music.
Yeah.
So like both our projects, both our bands started are in different like portions of the releasing new music
Yeah.
phase, and that takes time, and that takes time away from being able to do things. I had Annie home for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so it was like I really don't want to do anything else for 2 weeks because I'm not going to see her for 3 months now.
Right.
So yeah, there was just a lot going on, and it felt like it snuck up on us.
Yeah.
But all that being said, I got to give it to first. I'll give it to Joey and Chris because they learned the material and were great at the material, and I didn't worry about either of them playing and how they were going to play at all. Like there was never even a
Yeah. Well, that's the
right.
difference.
They're pros, and it's
Right. That's the big difference between, just getting a couple of, well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Because Joey is a very close friend of mine and has been for a long time. It's well documented. I love the guy since 10th grade.
Yeah.
So, it just so happens that my very close friend is also a fucking pro.
Right.
So
Right.
it was different in that respect. I've been friends with Chris since he joined the band and stuff like that. So we had a pre-existing relationship. But overall,
I've played with Joey before, and Joey and I are tight, and it's always a pleasure.
But it's cool to have pros in your circle.
Yeah.
And that is truly that's why I consider myself lucky.
It takes all the weight off
Right.
of that aspect of it.
Right.
Right.
And
that's great.
And it's cool to bring people in and go, hey, would you do this? And then
we should put up Joey's comment because it's great.
He is proud to have delivered the mediocrity on a silver platter for us both.
Joey, I'm always striving for mediocrity, so you exceeded my expectations. Not for you, just what I expect in general, always.
Well, and
I knew you were going to be great, and you were great.
So it was nice for us to get people to do this that we didn't have to worry about if they were going to be able to.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
Absolutely.
Our
friends are just as talented as successful people.
Time out.
Yeah.
Have you guys checked out baconismypodcast.com yet?
It's like the portal to everything Bacon is My Podcast. It's got episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got music.
Yeah.
It's got swag.
Yeah.
And it has a portal to all of our sponsors, our awesome sponsors like grillyourassoff.com, Drink Wild Bills, Manscaped, and, of course, Mythical Beards.
Mythical Beards, yeah. So check it out. I mean, you can just, from one page, find so many things.
Yes.
Right? Check out our swag. Check out their swag. Get those discount codes and just, help out the show.
Exactly. And always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
Yep.
Are you looking for a place for all things horror and don't know where to go?
Well, you've came to the right place, my friend. We are the Graveyard Club podcast. For all your horror needs, visit us on YouTube and Spotify, and you can follow us over on Instagram at the Graveyard Club Pod. See you there.
Ciao.
Much like us.
Right. Maybe even more talented.
Maybe it's way more talented.
But
well, then me. I'll speak for myself.
right. No, you can let me in. It's fine.
All right, both of it.
Yeah.
I was the weak link on stage that night. I will freely admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100%. 100%.
Jen said that there was a song where things clicked. It might have been the third,
Which was the one that I was the weakest on. But
well, you didn't know the words.
I did know the words. Oh, and this is what I was gonna say. I said before we started, I was like, what's been running through my head all day for the past 2 days, right? For another mark to blame on me, under fire, and I just stopped praying. I wait for anyone to come and save me. I know these words. I know these words.
As soon as that first bad hits,
I don't
blank.
know why that song. It's the only one.
Yeah.
Like, I know your words for all the other songs.
Yeah.
Like, I was up behind you singing your words behind you. And,
Yeah.
like, that song, for whatever reason, like, maybe it's what I'm playing when I'm doing it too, or maybe it's just, I don't know. I thought it's like panic.
Well, it's so funny too because like when we were doing it, I was like, Jim, don't play the verses. You don't have to play the verses.
I didn't.
You did.
No, I just hit the bounce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the da 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 da.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, the first couple rehearsals I played along because I was like, no, I can play that. Like,
Yeah.
This isn't a rhythm I can't play and sing.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't play because I can't remember the words.
It's one less thing to worry about.
And it's so annoying because I know the words. I wrote half of them. I should at least have those. I think when that song turned into like, oh, you just sing all of it and I'll just do the screams. Like when that decision was made, I think the panic went in on me because I was like, oh wait, I have to do your parts, right? And then I'm like, I can't do your parts like you do them. How am I going to do your parts? And it's like, you're not even doing those parts crazy.
I'm not doing them any different than you would.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But my brain is still kind of like, okay, how do I do this?
Well, I think that was the right call too, because if you think about it, all the songs that we've done, that we have ready to go, or even the ones that we've put out, our parts are very contrasting,
Yes.
and that was literally the only one
Where they're not.
they're
yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
So it was the right call to do, and
Yeah.
even doing
If
it,
any song.
if we record it, it's probably the way we should go with it anyway.
I think we asked that. I think we brought that up on the live streams too.
I don't remember. Maybe.
I know because I know there were a couple things where I was like, should just one of us sing this?
Yeah.
Because I think it was that song because it felt like, how are we gonna do this and not have it sound kind of like corny?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it will, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those weird things because we're kind of doing the same style of singing at that time, so it doesn't really sound as call response, and it sounds more like we're just kind of like, I have a sentence, you have a sentence, I have a sentence, you have a sentence.
That was something that like LTOB ran into, where we would kind of have that where whatever part was going on, even though Artie and I wanted to interweave and do call response and that kind of stuff, at the end of the day, some of this stuff was just like, you know what, man, we don't have contrasting parts. Our voices are
Right.
very similar already. He's able to do certain things that I can't do, and vice versa. But on the overall, they're kind of in the same lane. That music was kind of in the same lane, and it was one of those things too where if we recorded something and live I couldn't play it, or if he needed to duck out because he was coming into a first verse, I could take that last line of that chorus and it wouldn't really matter. I feel like that's what this particular song is. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, Artie and I too would just be like, whatever, like you just sing it.
Yeah.
I'll just sing it.
Well, that's one thing that I appreciate about this whole project was it was like, there's nothing I'd rather do than step back and let you have moments, and then jump up and have moments, and then step back and have moments, and then you jump. You know what I mean? Like there's never any kind of like, I like that. I like that there's never like a well, how do we approach this?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, all right, let's go.
Right.
And our voices like aren't the same at all.
No.
Like we like our strengths lie in totally different lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that adds to like the textures we can make. And the things that we can do, which is cool. I heard a lot of good compliments about our singing together, which was cool.
Yeah. Well, that's something I was definitely concerned about, the feedback on that, and because it is different. It is a different sound, and it is and even within that, when us writing other shit together, it's not, Death Be a Woman is like the perfect example of it, where we're going to be doing stuff with this project that, if we eventually do another show, there might be like the next show might have more Death Be a Woman like songs, or even like a more poppy song, but it's also got this Damage Condition EP with it.
Yeah.
And I am totally cool with that.
Me too.
People had asked me, they were like, you have all this stuff and then you're going to throw in Death Be a Woman too. And it's like, yeah.
Well,
of course.
I think like, I think when you look at just what we tried to do as writers, it was like when we wrote the other stuff, we wrote it all kind of at the same period of time. Right. And so we were in a particular mindset, and we actually had a vision, and we had a vision for what we wanted it to sound like then. And the Damage Condition was actually going to be the name of the project. Right. It wasn't going to be the EP title. That was going to be the name of a band that we were going to do together. The idea was, let's get you, let's get me, let's get DJ, and let's do some music together as writers and see what we can do.
And even Frank was in it
And
too.
Frank was in here too, and and that was the immediate plan, was like, let's see what we can do, and let's go with this edgier sound and this particular kind of way of doing things. And then a couple years went by, and the Deaf Be a Woman thing was just kind of like hey, let's do this for this project. So it was a completely different thing. And even the stuff, like, I also think, like, every word you say is very different,
Right.
from the other stuff. But if you think about it, like, there's probably a reason that we picked that as the first one to release, because it was so different, and it was a different side to us. The one thing that I did not want, the only thing, like, I had no expectations for this, but the main thing that I had one thing that I didn't want, and I didn't want us to come across like either a heavier version of my band or a lighter version of your band.
Right.
Right? I wanted it to really come across as something different than both of them. And that was the main thing that was important to me. And that's why we'd even talked about, like, let's not have anybody play on it that we play with, and that was, at first, that was the thing, is it was like, we want all musical influence in this to be separate from what we normally do, because we don't want it to sound like, I didn't want it to sound like, oh, the guys from these two bands got together and did a side project.
Right.
Right? I wanted it to sound like a thing. We wrote songs and we are putting them out and we're seeing how they go. You know? And I think we achieved that. And so I was super happy about that. And it was super fun. And I told people at the show that night, and I told you that night too. It was like, I had so many nerves that I haven't had in a long time, because I told you, it was my first show in 20 years.
Right.
Right? Because I've been in the same band for 15, but that band sprung from the previous
Something
band.
else, right? You had
Some of the
players
songs
from it.
were already there.
Yeah.
Like the Save Yourself record, half of that record was the second Sick as Monday record.
Right.
And it sounds different, and it became different because different players, and we all put our stamp on it. But, like, those songs were being played live. They were out. People knew them. The audience kind of followed, and there was some of the same things there, except the ones that hated me, which we talked about when I talked about in our episode, where I talked about my buddy Dane. Love you, Dane. It's talking about you again, buddy. Talking about you again, because I love you. But yeah, so it was like, even Crash Transit, I was joining a band that already existed and already had an album and already had a fan base.
Right.
This was literally like, okay, it's all new material that we're playing in front of an audience that doesn't know it. So it's kind of like touring, but I don't have but these songs have worked for years.
These crowds.
For these crowds. I can take them anywhere and feel good about it. It was like, oh shit, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
How's this going to go? And that was awesome. So Joey and Chris and you, thank you for doing something with me that allowed me to have that.
Yeah.
Like, and besides that, just getting to play with you was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, you have an energy on stage that I've seen from the audience that I haven't experienced on stage. Like, everybody on stage has a certain kind of vibe to them and a certain energy to them, and I don't think I got it fully, because I think we were trying to make sure it worked. Right, we weren't super confident and comfortable yet, but it was just cool to kind of like, when you were having your moments on stage and everything, getting to kind of like be on stage for that and like vibe off of that energy and stuff. It was really cool for me, because I've always admired what you do on stage from an audience perspective, and it was cool to be up with it and just being like, oh shit, yeah. So it's like, also like, as we got more and more into the set, I was I was just backing up and just like kind of being like, oh yeah, just kind of like letting you kind of go off, and it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. It was cool to like be a part of that. So I appreciate that too.
No, I said it to you the other night too. It's like, you know, I am like super incredibly grateful to, you know, you've been somebody that I've respected and admired and looked up to as a songwriter, as a performer, and, you know, from an onstage perspective for a long time, you know, and then we got to know each other, and it's even deeper now. But like,
He made
that was,
fun of me for years.
it wasn't years.
Eyeliner and lived in the studio.
It was no, I never made fun of you for living in the studio. I absolutely made fun of you for the eyeliner.
I'm just kidding. It's because I can't take compliments.
All right, quick timeout. I want to let everybody know that despite the summer being gone and heading into the fall, does not mean that grilling season is over.
No, if you have a grill, it is always grilling season.
I feel like it's just getting started, and if you're grilling, if you're cooking, if you're doing any of that, make sure you do that with grillyourassoff.com.
Taste the freedom.
Exactly. Grill Your Ass Off is an awesome, awesome company. It is made in Texas. It is veteran-owned, and they were Small Business of the Year.
Yeah, Veteran Small Business of the Year 2023, which is awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They also just partnered with Sailor Jerry. Now, rum may be my personal avoid at all costs booze, but some people really love it. And I guess I have to admit, even at its worst, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a new Sailor Jerry Ironsides barbecue sauce that you can check out too. And anything that you decide to get at grillyourassoff.com. You want a deal? You want a special? You want some money off? Use the promo code.
Bacon. Because everything's better with bacon.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Come on. 10% off. Get it on all of their jerkies, all of their seasonings, all of their condiments, even their swag. Their swag is pretty sweet.
Yeah, spread some seasoning on those swags.
So definitely head over to grillyourassoff.com, use the promo code BACON for 10% off, and always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
Welcome into Metalhead Journeys. What is Metalhead Journeys? It's exactly how it sounds. It's a journey through the world of metal by a couple of metalheads. Are you thinking of getting into metal? Where do you begin? There's so many different subgenres. What bands are good? What albums are good? We'll provide answers to all of those questions. We'll handle all the research and do all the dirty work by listening to the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you don't have to. Classic albums, new albums, bands no one's ever heard of. Get ready as we'll applaud and criticize with the same passion. This is Metalhead Journeys.
But no, like it was something for me that was like, even when you first started, when you first started to write with me, where you're just like, yeah, let's write something together.
Right.
It like we had attempted to a while back, and it was one of those things where just schedules were kind of fucked up and didn't work out. And then we did the damage condition stuff together, and I just remember that being like, shit, like I gotta up my game because
that's cool.
with this guy, and no, it's fucking cool
I
to,
appreciate it.
again, you know, it was one of those things where it's really cool to be able to play with somebody, and somebody you look up to sees you as a peer, as an equal, and I'm like, that's really cool to me. So thank you.
Oh, yeah, man.
And again, thank you for
Songwriters
Joey
and
and Chris for playing.
We have some comments in here.
Yeah.
A lot of Death Be a Woman lovers. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Appreciate that so much.
Razor.
I would love to be able to write another one of those. I don't know how we did the first one, so we have to give it a shot.
Yeah, I think deadlines. Our big thing is deadlines.
Yeah, I think that was probably a big
I think
part
the
of it.
reason why the damage condition never came out was because we didn't have a deadline.
We had no deadline. Yeah.
Death Be a Woman was like, hey, we got to write and record this in 10 days.
Right, and little did we know that no, we didn't.
Yeah, here we are.
But you know what? It's great because that song probably still wouldn't be done.
Yeah.
Because we'd be like, it doesn't sound enough like Kiddo and the Tarantulas yet. Having that kind of also was a thing, was a direction. So it felt like, let's write a song like this. And then it really kind of aimed us I've never done that ever.
Yeah.
Right. But that was super cool to kind of do. And also it made it so much easier having another songwriter in the room, because you were like, that was your chorus, right?
Oh, yeah.
You came
That's
up with
right.
that chorus. And I would have agonized over a chorus for that, because I would have been like, what are we going to do? And I probably would have come up with something that was way too sing-songy, and not gritty enough, and not like that chorus makes the song, right? And you had that already. You were like, no, I got it. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then even when you said it to me, I was like, before you sang it, you were like, we're going to say death be a woman. And I was like, huh? Really?
Yeah.
And then like when you sang it, and like it showed me kind of the melody, and then I kind of like found it, I was like, oh yeah, it has to be this. Like it was always this. Like, sorry I didn't hear that. So I think that helped a lot. Bill likes Razor.
Yeah.
Razor's awesome because that was one of the ones that I had that chorus.
Yes.
And I didn't have anything else. I just had that chorus. And I brought that chorus in, and I was like, I have been trying to do something with
The
this.
lyrics.
I
The
had
lyrics
been
you had.
trying. Did I have the lyrics too?
You had the lyrics too.
I think I had some, but I didn't have everything. And I couldn't figure out where to go with that song, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, can you just do this? And you were like, yeah, I absolutely can do this.
Yes.
And then you did it, and it was great.
And then and then you were like, it's missing something.
Yeah. And then you rock godded the end of it. You sang like, I wish I could sing on anything ever, because it was amazing.
That was like
I was like,
a moment
damn,
in time.
dude.
I like, this was not a thing. I literally, like, something happened and it hit me. It just hit me, and I was like, I texted Jim and I said, hey, the ending to Razor, I think I got it.
Yeah.
And I came out here, laid down the track, put it into the mix real quick, sent it over, and he was like, what the fuck did you just do?
You get to do that all the time now.
And then yeah, I didn't know that it was going to actually come to fruition where I'd have to sing it live. And
yeah.
And I'm also, what, 5-6 years later, so my voice has changed since then.
You're
even.
more seasoned. That's what a voice does. It gets more seasoned.
Yeah.
Right? I don't sing as cleanly as I used to.
Right.
Because of seasoning.
AKA
damage.
AKA. I also see here
Joey
we
says
did
you're just as talented as successful as you're just as talented as successful people. I can't even say it.
Yeah. Well, he can't spell it either, apparently. So,
hey, me and Joey are often on the same error link.
Yeah. And we got to do the double hay, which was pretty awesome.
We did get to do the double hay. Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing you wanted to do.
I didn't know either until we did it.
Yeah.
It was just one of those spur of the moment things. But
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Double hay.
Double hay, man. Melissa, who is also in our BIMP squad, she is in the live room right now. For those of you listening, we do this live for our Patreon, for our patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypod. Cast. Damn it. Why? Why do I always think it's shorter? I always think podcast and I go, you're wrong. And then I shorten it.
Yeah.
Every time before I sing, I'm like, I got this time.
Yeah.
Bacon is my podcast. Wait, no. I always think that. I'm always wrong. So shorten it. But Melissa was like, the first thing she said to me, she goes, all I'm looking forward to is the solo to Death Be a Woman. And I was like, well, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I don't do lead guitar, and now I'm going to be thinking about that.
And you killed it.
Thank you.
You killed it.
Thank you. It felt good.
Yeah.
It felt right.
Yeah, I loved it. We also, we had a fun time with the set lists and stuff, and the
Joey's set
the
lists were
rehearsals and the set lists were pretty great. If you didn't get one, sorry, because they were epic. They were epic as fuck. But apparently, all the clip art that he used fucked him up.
Good. Because I'll tell you what, it made everything easier for me. I was like, I was able to focus on that. I don't know why, but I was able to zero in and focus on that set list. Like every rehearsal, I screwed up when I needed to be up tuned and down tuned and stuff like that. Which is only 2 songs, right? But Joey put it on that set list, and I zeroed in on it, and I had no issues.
Yeah.
None.
Joey says he can print more. Those are $5 each, and we will sign them for you if you missed. So
Joey, sign them when you print them.
Yeah, and then bring them to us. We'll share the profit. We'll promise. But yeah, it was a good time, man, and hopefully we get to do it again.
Yeah,
I'd be excited too.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah, let's recover from this one, and then we'll do that.
So aside from that, though, not only did we get to do that this weekend, but you went and stayed in a haunted hotel.
I did. We didn't just stay there. It was a it was like an investigation. It was like an actual set up investigation.
With people that investigate, not just the stuff that like we bought.
No.
Right? It was, with our mediocre knowledge from talking to a couple people and then bringing something we brought, you got to work with investigators.
Right. Actually, it was very cool. Dave Schrader, former guest of the show, he was there. He was kind of one of the hosting people there, and then also he's a TikToker called Scotty the Medium. Super, super, super cool guy. I'll get into that in a little bit, but it was the Shanley Hotel. It was in upstate New York. Really cool. The outside is every bit as dilapidated as like an 1800s building should be or would be. And it's run by this amazing woman named Kelly who bought it from a tax auction. So long and short of it, the Shanleys were a really, really prominent and wealthy family. And some of their descendants were not doing things on the up and up, if you will. Prohibition, all that kind of stuff. A lot of tragedy befell them, and they bought this property. They bought this hotel. They lived in the hotel. They also, during Prohibition, had some stuff going on. They had some unsavory people come in and out of the hotel / quarters, if you will. It was a brothel at a certain point, like a part of the place was a brothel, and it was a bar for a long time too, a bar and inn that.
So it was a hotel, bar, brothel.
A home for like rich people. Why don't
more places like this exist? I want to be at these places.
In fact, they have a picture in the main room. Billy Joel, when he was just coming up, it was him and an acoustic guitar and a keyboard.
Wow!
And he played there. Really cool, really cool.
Nice.
So a gentleman purchased it, and I forgot what he was going to do with it, but ended up getting, like, while he was renovating, ended up noticing that it was fucking haunted. So he opened it and he changed up his business plan and was like, you know what, I'm going to let people investigate. And this woman, Kelly, she ended up loving it because she was into the paranormal and stuff. She loved it so much that she ended up volunteering there and helping with the investigations and facilitating them and stuff like that. That gentleman passed away, and she ended up purchasing it. Wow. And I think it's since 2015 she's had it. Okay. 2016, something like that. And she pours her heart and soul into the place. She loves it. The staff there is fantastic, like really, really great people. and they allowed for a really, really cool experience. So this was interesting.
So now is it I don't mean to interrupt, but like,
No.
is it just a touristy haunted hotel
Yeah.
thing right now? So it's not actively, you can't just get a room there.
Sort of. It is geared more toward investigations. That's kind of what they do. That's their bread and butter. You can rent it out for like the night.
Like if you're driving through the area and you're like, I'm tired.
No, it's not that
Right.
type of.
It's like it's for this purpose.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever wondered how you could actually help the show out? I mean, not just like listening and giving a 5-star review or buying a T-shirt or working
A little
with
bit
sponsors.
of extra zazz.
Yeah. Are you one of those people that likes extra stuff? That likes a little bit more? Can't spell extraordinary without that little extra.
Exactly. So if you like that stuff, if you want a little bit of extra bacon, like tasting shows and cooking shows and early access to episodes, I mean, shoot, you can't get any earlier than live.
That's true.
Every week we do our discussion and drinks live for our patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Check it out. Check out the tiers. See what's right for you. Help us out. We love you. Thanks for being a part of it. Remember to ask yourself, what's your bacon?
So this happened to be a special event. Dave Schrader was going to be there, and Scotty the Medium, and it was really cool. We checked in. We did this really cool meet and greet kind of thing where we just kind of hung out with Dave and Scotty, and just bullshitting and asking questions and stuff like that. And there was some presentations kind of showing what the history of the hotel and whatnot. Scotty did a small read. It was about 21 people also there. And then we broke us up into groups. We did like investigations with 3 different people. One of them was her name escapes me right now, but she was also kind of like an apprentice medium, but she works there. She works there at the hotel. So it was her, and then Kelly and Scotty the Medium took us to another spot, and then Dave took us to another spot, and we were able to investigate with them, do a little bit of things here and there, and then they sent us out on our own. They were like, okay, go do your thing.
So was there any kind of, what was there like a checklist of like here's some things to do, here's some things to not do, here's some ways to kind of like up your chances of getting... There's definitely some do's and don'ts as far as like EVPs and stuff. Major rule for investigating is don't whisper. Nobody whisper. Right, because it'll pick it up.
And then you can think it's that,
right,
and stuff like that. What I will say is you have to be patient. The fact that it was so many people, I don't know if I'd probably do it again, depending on if it was a cool enough experience or somebody was there that I've seen their work and stuff. But yeah, I think there was a ton of different rules and whatnot, but so yeah, like it was pretty crazy, and just to kind of validate some of the things, it was actually pretty wild.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to ask is, so what was the first thing that happened that gave you a kind of like feeling of like, oh man, like did you walk in there skeptical, or did you walk in there like,
well,
I know this is legit, I just hope that we see something?
There's a lot of nerves,
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of a skeptic within anybody, and there's always that, all right, well, I hope that something happens. I know if you know about TV stuff, everything's a demon,
right?
Because that's what people want to see.
Did you hear that? No. Me either.
people think that things are done in one night. People are there for a week.
Yeah.
This is TV. This is so being patient is major. It's huge. It's
I imagine it's
the
long
basis.
stretches of quiet.
Yeah. For the most part. Depends on where you are though.
Okay. So what was the first thing that kind of made you
the
go?
first thing,
oh, shit.
we're sitting there and we're doing this. We're in what they call it seance room. It's just this main room where it has big TV so they could do their presentations and whatnot. And we're all sitting there and we're asking questions. It's kind of like an open ended Q&As, and like this wisp was just up in the top corner.
You visually saw
it? And Jen turned to me. She goes, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "I saw that too." There's just this wisp. Like, I don't know how to. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Almost like a little bit of smoke.
Okay.
And she raised her hand. She's like, "Did anybody else see that?" Because it was to the back half of the room, and 2 other people validated it. And that was like, oh, okay, this is cool. This can be pretty interesting. So when we finally got to investigating, that was pretty cool. They have those recorders, the Panasonic. I forget what the name of it is.
Those old school ones.
The old school ones that are like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah, if anybody's seen like a ghost hunting show, there's a specific one.
Yeah,
it's like this old Panasonic little handheld.
Yeah,
it was a voice recorder.
Yes,
back in the day, right? And for whatever reason, that's been like the holy grail of things to capture EVPs.
Yeah, and what I will say is from using it with these experts, anytime you hear the ones that are like terrifying, where you hear the
right,
they explained that the microphone is really, really sensitive, and spirit, ghosts, whatever, they don't know, they don't have vocal cords. They don't have the control that we do.
Right.
So anytime they're doing that, it's because they don't know the sensitivity of the microphone. So it's just kind of, it blows out the microphone. It peaks out.
Well, also, if you have a microphone turned all the way up and either one of us go into it and we go, it's going to sound like death.
Or if we just talk like this and it's all the way up.
That'll just completely blow it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Just kind of, there was some things you definitely have to go back and listen to the evidence. Otherwise, you kind of don't know exactly what's happening or what's being said. But there's definitely responses. Another thing that so they had a reading first, and the reading there was a few people that things were validated and people came through. Then there was a Ouija board session where we were connected to 3 different spirits. One was a former magician and clown. Another one was a guy with mental health issues who killed somebody. And then the last one was a girl that killed herself in an orphanage because she was raped. And the wild thing is because it was like a 12-year-old girl that we were talking to and stuff like that, you started looking things up, and these pieces were actually, they were legit. Like certain pieces of the puzzle, like the location of the orphanage and the name of the town and all that.
So they were saying things and you were able to validate them.
Yeah, people around were looking them up as we were going along. It was wild. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But yeah, once the real investigating started, we started first in where did we go first? Oh, we were up in the bordello. Oh, so the bordello. So Jen and I did stay there, and you were able to pick rooms. Well, Jen saw the list of rooms, and she said, and was looking at the pictures. Now, this is very old school. It's almost like a bed and breakfast. You don't get your own bathroom or anything. It's a room, and then you can go down to the the restroom
Right.
downstairs.
Okay.
But this one room has 3 rooms. This one space has 3 rooms, and then it has a waiting room. That was the bordello. And Jen, she just went by pictures, and she's like, well, this room seems the least creepy. And it turned out that it belonged to a prostitute named Maddie, and that was her room.
Maddie the prostitute.
And so we stayed in Maddie's room.
Did you invite Maddie home? Because we
No,
had light things
we had light
already.
issues. We had light issues.
All right, Maddie, are you here?
And she's supposedly very witty and very, very playful. She had an EVP. They showed an EVP that a guy who was staying there with his then fiance said to her, asked her a question, and said, "Yeah, Maddie, does my girlfriend really love me?" And Maddie responded, "She's a bitch." They had video of that. It's
Those
pretty
witty prostitutes.
They had video of it. It was pretty awesome.
Nothing like a frisky prostitute.
So we went upstairs and kind of doing little spirit box sessions and whatnot. Didn't really get a whole lot of stuff up there, but it actually what happened was the owner, Kelly, her uncle, who did work with them for a little while, he ended up coming through. He passed away.
Okay.
And he used to work with them.
Oh.
And when he was working there, upstairs in the brothel, there was a bouncer named Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And her uncle, Tom, happened to be gay. And Frank would often insult him because he was gay.
Okay.
And now, because they have crossed over, Tom will now bust Frank's balls. And it's hilarious. Like, you know, they would ask, hey, is Frank as cute as you thought he was when you were here? And stuff like that. So that was interesting. Then they put me in
spirit humor.
Anna's room, which is another prostitute, and they singled me out because I was one of the few guys, and they were like, okay, go in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And they started asking questions to Anna, and I did too. And then she goes, hey, Frank, we got somebody in Anna's room. He didn't pay. And something came through in the EVP session. We didn't get to analyze it or anything. I have it. I still have it in my phone and stuff. So I'll be doing that, checking that out when I get some sleep.
What's up, guys? This episode ended up going very long because your trip was awesome and there was so much information. There's so much cool stuff. So we decided to break this instead of like cutting it down and giving you less of the stories. We wanted to just cut it into 2 episodes. So we're going to end this one right now. And
the rest will come out on Friday.
Part 2 will be out on Friday.
Because
so
we don't have a What's Your Bacon in 7 Questions because we got a 3-year anniversary to take care of.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We're going to bring back a bunch of awesome guests.
Yep.
From this past year.
I mean,
year
maybe,
3.
Maybe we'll make them do part 2 for repeat offenders, but we'll see.
There's too many people coming.
There's probably too many people.
Yeah. So
that's
either way happen. But
definitely
come back Friday.
Yeah, come back on Friday for part 2 of Discussions and Drinks, where we talk more about Mike's visit to the
Shanley Hotel.
The Shanley Hotel. All right, thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate you, Jimmy G and Mike. Something Heavy, Craving Strange. BaconsMyPodcast.com will give you everything you need. Peace. What's your bacon?
World peace.